Let us discuss a very important concept of trade between two countries or people or even two economies. Okay, so why trade is required? Whether by establishing trade, whether the economies can be benefited. So, to understand that, we shall take one very simple example of two people. Okay, one is person Bob and another person is Anne. Let us say A and B. So, for simplicity, we'll keep it like this. Okay, right. Now, the assumption of the problem is something like this. If a person B spends all his time, then he can collect 10 bananas. Or if he spends all his time to collect fish, he can collect 10 fish. Similarly, a person A, if he spends all his time to collect bananas, he can collect 10 bananas. Otherwise, in all his time, he can collect 30 fish. Now, let us say any person needs both of it. So if A and B need both of it, that is they need fish as well as banana. Now A will spend 50% of the time, 50% of the resource for each case, that is bananas and fish. Then what will happen is A will be able to collect 5 bananas and A will be able to collect 5 fishes in his time. In his time. Whereas B will be able to collect in 50% of his time, he will be able to, sorry, A will be able to collect 5 bananas and 15 fish. 15 fish. B will be able to collect 5 bananas and 5 fish. So here they are spending their time for collecting both the things, both the resources or both the products. Then A will be able to have 5 bananas and 15 fish. B will be able to have 5 bananas and 5 fish. Overall, put together, the collective efficiency of A and B is what? Together they have 10 bananas and 20 fish. Okay. Now, let us say they somehow choose to specialize. If they choose to specialize, let us say A is specializing in collecting fish and B is specializing in collecting bananas. Then, if they decide to specialize, then A will be collecting 30 fish in spending all his time, and B will spend all his time in collecting only bananas because they have chosen to do so. So B will collect 10 bananas. Now, in the same time duration, they are able to collect combinedly 10 bananas and 30 fish. Whereas, if they had spent their time for both instead of specializing, then together they could have collected only 10 bananas and 20 fish. Now you can see this is a very simple example but very realistic. So by choosing to specialize in one thing, they are able to do or produce more. They are able to produce more by choosing to specialize Now combined production has increased. Right? Now A has only fish and B has only bananas. Now at this point, just A has only fish and B has only bananas. That is 10 bananas, this is 30 fish. But those people want to have both. A want to have both fish and banana. B wants, in addition to banana, he wants fish also. Now, if they have to establish a trade, then what they have to do? They should be benefited by establishing a trade. They should be benefited. That is when they will be able to trade. Okay, when they can trade. So let us set up a trade equation here. So can they trade? And what is beneficial understanding? What is the beneficial understanding? Okay. So before this, we have to understand what is the advantage here. One is absolute advantage and one is comparative advantage. Absolute advantage means it is nothing but you produce more with less resources. So we know the different factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and technology. So with less land, with less time, with less human resource, with less technology, with less investment, if you can produce more, then that person is is having an absolute advantage. Okay. Now let us try to find out the absolute advantage in this case. Now, given the same amount of time with respect to bananas, given the same amount of time, A can collect 10 bananas and B also can collect 10 bananas. Okay, who has an absolute advantage? Neither A or B has an absolute advantage. So, the absolute advantage with respect to banana is both have same capability, both have same production capability. So therefore, neither of them has an absolute advantage over other person. Okay. Now, with respect to fish collection, fish, what is happening here? If A spends all his time on collecting fish, he can collect 30 fish, whereas B spends all his time, the time should be same, so he can collect 10 fish. Now, who is having an absolute advantage? For that same time resource, A is able to collect 20 extra fish than B. Therefore, with respect to fish, A has an absolute advantage over B in collecting fish, because in the same time duration, same time, A can collect more fish than A could have collected. Sorry, B could have collected. So A is able to collect 30 fish, then B is able to collect only 10 fish. So that is why A has a absolute advantage in collecting fish. So with respect to banana, nobody has an advantage. With respect to fish collection, A has an advantage over B. Now, relative advantage. So relative advantage, or this is also called as comparative advantage. Okay, what is the comparative advantage means? We have to evaluate the opportunity cost of both the people. So, what is the cost of producing one thing for each of the person? So we'll calculate the cost of production for both these people. So we'll copy this table. We'll copy this table, we'll put it here. Okay. Now we'll calculate. So we will calculate the opportunity cost. So with respect to person B, and what he can do given his time is, if he spends all his time in collecting bananas, he can collect 10 bananas. Or if he spends all his time in collecting fish, he can collect 10 fish. So either he can collect 10 bananas or 10 fish. Therefore, now we will try to calculate the opportunity cost of collecting bananas. So the opportunity cost of collecting a banana, or opportunity cost of collecting 10 bananas, he is giving up 10 fish. So 10 bananas is equal to 10 fish. Opportunity cost of collecting 10 bananas is equal to 10 fish. Or we want opportunity cost of 1 banana. So divide by 10 on both the sides. Divide by 10. Then we get 1 fish. So the opportunity cost of 1 banana is 1 fish. So opportunity cost of 1 banana is 1 fish. Similarly, here it is the same. Opportunity cost of 1 fish is 1 banana. Okay. So similarly for person A, so can we calculate the opportunity cost? So for person A, what is it? Either he can collect 10 bananas or 30 fish. So the opportunity cost of collecting 10 bananas is equal to 30 fish. He has to give up 30 fish. We want the opportunity cost of 1 banana is nothing but divided by 10 on both the sides. So it is 30 by 10, that is nothing but 3 fish. So if A decides to collect bananas, then he has to give up 3 fish for every banana that he is going to collect. So we can write here opportunity cost of 1 banana is 3 fish, whereas opportunity cost of 1 fish is what? So opportunity cost of one fish. So the same thing we can rearrange, divide by 30. What we get is, so not able to see. Opportunity cost of 30 fish is 10 bananas. So we want opportunity cost of one fish. One fish divided by 30 on both the sides. That is 1/3 of a banana. That is nothing but 0.33 bananas. So we can write that here. So opportunity cost of one fish is 0.33 banana. Okay. Now, so if A is has decided to collect a fish, so he has to give up only 0.33 banana per every fish that he is going to catch. Now, whose cost of opportunity cost is less? So, who has, so identify who has less opportunity cost. So, with respect to banana, the opportunity cost of B is one fish, and the opportunity cost for A is, it is 3 fish. So A has 3 fish opportunity cost, whereas B has 1 fish opportunity cost. So opportunity cost of person B is very much less than the opportunity cost of person A with respect to banana. Therefore, the amount of things that B has to give up is very much less compared to what A has to give up. So B has less opportunity cost of banana. And similarly, with respect to fish, who has a less opportunity cost? So with respect to fish, B has an opportunity cost of 1 banana and A has 0.33 bananas. So B has 1 banana is the opportunity cost of collecting one fish, whereas A opportunity cost is 0.33 bananas. So person A opportunity cost is very much less of compared to the opportunity cost of person B in collecting fish. Therefore, person A has less opportunity cost of each fish. Right? Now, whoever is having a less opportunity cost, they have a relative advantage or comparative advantage. Now, B has a comparative advantage of collecting banana, whereas A has a comparative advantage of collecting fish. Okay. Now, when whichever person is having a comparative advantage, they have to specialize in that. So let B, so B can specialize. So B can specialize in collecting banana, whereas A can, this is a very, very important topic, very subtle topic, which you have to understand. A it is not, A can specialize in collecting fish. Okay, so whichever has a comparative advantage, that has to specialize in that particular product. That is the idea. Now, if they specialize, what is the advantage? So specialization is done. Now what is the advantage? Advantage of specialization. Of specialization. These A and B can be two people, two countries, or two companies, or anything like that. What is the advantage of specialization? Now what we have told, A has to specialize in catching fish, and because it has a less opportunity cost of for the fish, and B has to specialize in collecting bananas. Now, if they have to specialize, like they have to spend all their time in that. So if A spends all his time in collecting fish, he will be able to collect 30 fish. And if B spends all his time in collecting banana, he will collect 10 bananas. Now you can see, put together, they have 30 fish plus 10 bananas. Now they have specialized and they have produced more. So the production has increased. Production has increased. Compared to what? Compared to doing both, instead of doing it is collecting both by themselves. Okay. So now they have been able to produce more. Now they have to, but each needs both the products. Now they have to trade. So a trade is required between them. Trade is required. How do they trade? So A has specialized in fish. A has specialized in fish, and the opportunity cost is what? Opportunity cost of A for catching each fish. Opportunity cost of A for catching fish is 0.33 bananas. Is 0.33 bananas. Right? It is only going to give up only 0.33 bananas. If it had done itself, if A had collected bananas also, for every fish it is going to give up only 0.33 bananas. Or it would have collected 0.33 bananas for every fish. Or if A wanted 3 bananas, if A wanted 3 bananas, then it has to 0.3 bananas per fish. Okay, so if A wanted 3 bananas, then it has to spend 3. So if A wants to get 0.33 bananas, then it has to give up 1 fish. Okay, so if A wanted 3 bananas, 1 banana, it has to give up 3 fish. Okay, so if A wants 1 banana, then it has to give up give up one fish. Okay, so this is what it has to give up if it wants banana also. Okay, now similarly, B has decided to specialize in banana and it has collected 10 bananas, and the opportunity cost of B in collecting bananas is what? Opportunity cost of B in collecting bananas is one fish per banana. Is opportunity cost is one fish per banana. Okay, so here we can write this as 0.33 bananas per fish. One fish is equal to 0.33 banana, or one fish is equal to one banana. So for A, it is 0.33 bananas per fish, or for B, it is one banana per fish. Okay, now A has specialized in fish, therefore A has specialized in fish collection and it will sell fish. Okay, now B has specialized in collecting bananas, so it will sell bananas. And similarly, A has specialized in collecting fish, so it is only having fish, so it will sell fish, but it wants banana also, therefore it is ready to buy bananas. As well, B has specialized in collecting bananas, therefore it will sell bananas and it will buy fish. This you have to understand. Okay, now when it is going to sell fish, when A is going to sell fish, means it is going to give. It has collected lot of fish. What is the opportunity cost of collecting one fish by A? Opportunity cost of collecting one fish. Opportunity cost of collecting one fish is how much? By A is 3 fish. Sorry. Yeah. Opportunity cost of collecting one fish by A is 0.33 bananas. Is 0.33 bananas. Okay. Now if it can exchange, that is, if it can exchange one fish for more than 0.33 bananas. Okay, so if it can buy bananas for less than one fish, okay, then A will be having an advantage. So if A can, if it itself had spent its time, it would have caught 0.33, I mean, if it would have collected 0.33 bananas for every fish, or for one banana, it would have lost 3 fishes. Okay, so A can benefit, A can benefit, A, it gets a banana if it can get, or if it sells, just a minute. See, it wants bananas also. So if it can exchange what it has, that is, if it can exchange fish for bananas at less cost, means what? Its opportunity cost is one fish for every 0.33 banana. If it can get more bananas, so for more bananas will write. If it can exchange fish for more bananas, then that it itself would have collected. Okay. So if it itself would have collected, it would have collected only 0.33 bananas per fish. So if it can get more than 0.33 bananas per one fish, then A will be benefited. Okay. So if A gets more than 0.33 bananas per one fish, then A will be benefited. What about B? B has
Sir, lobby.
See, B has specialized B has specialized in bananas. So B will be benefited, will be benefited if it can exchange what? So we are specialized in bananas. What is the opportunity cost of one banana? Opportunity cost of one banana is one fish. One fish per banana. It is going to give up one fish. Therefore, if it can get more than one fish, B is specialized in bananas, but it wants fish also. So B will be benefited if it can exchange one banana for more than one fish. Okay. So this is the trade setup. So A will be benefited in one case and B will be benefited in one case. So let us write that. A wants what? So A gets more than 0.33 bananas per fish. So A wants more than 0.33 bananas per fish, and B wants what? B wants more than one fish per banana. Okay, more than one fish per banana. Okay, or can we write it like if it can get one fish for less than one banana, or we can write it like this, or it can get one fish. It can get, if it can B gets one fish for less than one banana. Okay, or yeah. So less than one banana per fish. So the limits are less than, limits, upper limit is less than one banana per fish, and lower limit is greater than 0.33 banana per fish. Okay, so if they decide on a value between these two, so let us say we will put a number between these two, that is 0.33 banana per fish and 1 banana per fish. So let us put like 0.5 bananas per fish is what is decided between A and B. So the trade understanding is 0.5 bananas, 0.5 bananas for one fish, or one banana for two fish, or two bananas for four fish, something like this. This is the understanding. If this is the understanding, now you see what happens. Okay, so initially now A has collected 30 fish and B has collected 10 bananas. That is, they have specialized and collected so much. Now they are ready to exchange 50% of what they have collected. If that is the assumption, so they exchange. So exchange what? 15 fish. 15 fish. Then they will get what? So B has collected 10 bananas and it exchanges or it sells 5 bananas and it will get what? So what is the trade understanding? So the trade understanding is for every banana we get 2 fish. So for every B has given up 5 bananas, so it will get how many fish? It will get 10 fish. Okay, now 10 fish from A. So what will be left with just a small correction here. So with this understanding, so if B decides to exchange 50% of what it has, that is 5 bananas, and it will get 10 fish. What will be A left with? A will be left with, so after this exchange, A will be left with 20 fish, and it has got how many bananas? It has got 5 bananas. 5 bananas. Okay, so that is what is there in the portfolio of A and B. Now we will write the production possibility curves for this. So this is bananas and this is fish. So we can write it like this: 10, 20, 30. And this is 10. Now, A can either collect, what is the given data? A can either collect 10 bananas or 30 fish. A can collect either 10 bananas or 30 fish. So we'll draw this line. So this is A. And B can either collect 10 bananas or 10 fish. So B can collect either 10 bananas or 10 fish. So this is B. Now what is a portfolio that A and B have? A has 20 bananas and 5, A has 20 fish and 5 bananas, whereas B has 5 bananas and 10 fish. So write this 5 bananas and 10 fish. See, B would have got only 10 fish if it had spent all its time. But it specialized in collecting bananas, so it produced 10 bananas and it sold or exchanged 5 of its production to get 5 fish. How much it got? So for 5 bananas, it got, so B exchanged 5 bananas to get 10 fish. So it has now 5 bananas and 10 fish. So 5 bananas is here and 10 fish is here. Okay. So B is now able to come into a production possibility which was not possible earlier. So A has been in an advantage, B is in a very advantageous position. What about A? Is A benefited by this trade? A now is having how much? 20 fish and 5 bananas. So A is now having 20 fish and 5 bananas. So 5 bananas is this and 20 fish is somewhere here. This is also outside this production possibility of person A. Okay, this is the A dash. So A dash has been able to get both the products. Okay, this would have been an impossible case without trade. And similarly, this also would have been an impossible scenario for person B without trade. So this is the benefit of trade. So the bottom line is you have to specialize and get the advantage of trade. Now, for example, you understand this due to the recent face-off with China. Now, what was happening is, so many stopped the imports from China. Okay, so but China has a very comparative advantage in manufacturing, whereas India has its own comparative advantage, maybe in software. Okay, so if you stop trading from where you are going to get at a low cost, then you are going to spend more of your resources for something less. Okay, so if there is no trade, then definitely there is going to be a disadvantage. So, but that is at a very high level what we can think of. Now, think at your individual level. If you try to do everything on your own in a project, let us say you are doing a project. If you try to do on your own everything, that is buying products, doing research about which components are required, and writing report, and spending, and so on. There are many aspects for your project. So if you spend all your time for each of these, then the efficiency is less. So efficiency will be less. Therefore, what is better? So in a group, you identify who is very good in doing research about where you get cheap or good quality components, which components has to be selected, and you send or you identify a person who is good in negotiating or buying components, or you identify a person and who is good in writing a report. You allocate the work to that person, and you identify a person who who has enough money, who is ready to spend, but his opportunity cost of spending is this. Okay, so if you can identify the specialization of individuals or the unique points of the individuals and utilize their strengths, then the project quality will be improved. Okay, this we can take up in a different lecture. Okay, so I hope you have got the understanding of what is opportunity cost, what we have seen is what is opportunity cost, what is absolute advantage, and what is comparative advantage, and how trade can be set up by establishing a trade value. Okay, so this is what we have understood with a very simple example. So I have taken this, I have solved one more here. So you can try this particular problem, and this is taken from this particular open source book. Brazil can produce 100 pounds of beef, or it can produce 10 autos in the same given amount of resources. Whereas United States can produce 40 pounds of beef or 30 autos. Which country has the absolute advantage in producing beef? Which country has the absolute advantage in producing autos? Similarly, what is the opportunity cost of producing 1 pound of beef in Brazil and 1 pound of beef in United States? Okay, like this the question can be asked. So you can try this particular example. So we can write this in this manner. So you have Brazil and US. The products are beef and autos. So what is given? Brazil can produce 100 pounds of beef for the same number of resources, or 10 autos. Whereas US can produce 40 pounds of beef or 30 autos. So if you write the opportunity, the production possibility curves, you can write it in this way. Beef and autos. So 10, 20, 30 and 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay. So Brazil can produce 100 pounds of beef or 10 autos. This is Brazil. Whereas US can produce 30 autos are 40 pounds of beef. So 40 pounds of beef are 10 autos. This is US. Now you find out what is the absolute advantage. With respect to beef, who is having the absolute advantage? Brazil is having the absolute advantage. Whereas with respect to autos, US is having the absolute advantage. So to find out the comparative advantage, you have to find out the opportunity cost. So opportunity cost of producing 1 pound of beef is what? So opportunity cost for Brazil. So for Brazil, it can produce 100 pounds of beef or it can produce 10 autos. So you have to calculate opportunity cost of 1 pound of beef. So divide by 100. So opportunity cost of 1 pound of beef is 1/10 of autos. That is 0.1 auto. Whereas for US, it is what? Opportunity cost of 1 pound of beef is what? So it can produce 40 pounds of beef or 30 autos. Divide by 40, so 30 by 40. So that is 3 by 4, that is 0.75 autos. Okay, similarly, the opportunity cost for auto, 10 autos is 100 pounds of beef. It is inverse actually. The opportunity cost is 10 pounds of beef. And here the opportunity cost is inverse of 0.75. That is 4 by 3. That is 1. 4 by 3 is how much? 3 ones are 10, 3 threes are. So 1.33. 1.33 pounds of beef. So now if you see beef, which country has a absolute relative advantage or a comparative advantage? Whichever has less opportunity cost, that country has a comparative advantage. So Brazil has a comparative advantage in beef production, and US has a comparative advantage in auto production. So now you take this as a homework. For how many pounds of beef, or for 1 pound of beef, how many autos have to be exchanged if they have to specialize? So find out this one value. There can be many values here. You can find out this, and for beneficial trade, for trade benefit. Okay, so you can take this as an example, homework. So I'll stop at this point.